What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we're going to talk about Game of Thrones, the Battle of Winterfell, Episode 3 of Season 8, and this is one of the most highly anticipated episodes of all time for Game of Thrones. Everybody's been talking about it, everybody's been looking forward to it. It was going to be this big epic battle, and I was completely underwhelmed by this episode. This is the same show that's given us Battle of the Bastards and Hardhome. Two of my favorite television episodes of all time, Hardhome being my favorite. And this episode was such garbage. So much happened, yet nothing really happened. It was this massive battle of convenient BS happening to make it to where nothing really happened. It was so stupid. And you couldn't even see anything that was going on because of the lighting and how dark they wanted to make it. It was absolute trash. I can't believe how garbage this episode was and how boring it was considering how much was actually going on. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree with me because of how much was going on and how many moving parts was happening, but it was terribly boring. At no point was I invested in anything. Then you have the Red Witch showing up all casually and then doing a stare down and then suddenly like raise your swords. And then try to casually walk over and lights all their swords on fire and then casually walks off. It's like, where the hell have you been? And why are you being so nonchalant about this? Like, what the hell? Look what's about to happen, and you're being so nonchalant. And then once she's inside, then conveniently, right when the moment is needed, she lights the trenches on fire and keeps them all out. And it's like, why didn't you already do this? And you got Jon and Daenerys standing up on the mountain just watching everything happen. And then when everybody dies, hey, let's get on our dragons and let's breathe fire on them. Why didn't you already do that? I don't really understand. What the hell? And then when Jon and Daenerys are flying around in the air, it looked like they were sitting on a green screen on a animatronic dragons, and they were just blowing white powder over them. It felt like they were on a soundstage. It was trash. You couldn't see anything that was going on, and I have damn good eyesight. And then the Night King, Snoke himself, shows up to the party. Oh yes, the Night King, all of this hype, all of this awesomeness, all of this epic way he strolls in and how intimidating he is and how badass he is, and boom, he's gone just like Snoke. Written and directed by Rian Johnson, subverted our expectations. What a garbage episode. I love Game of Thrones. I didn't read the books, so there's some people out there that are far more knowledgeable and experts than me, and that's fine. But I love Game of Thrones. I was a late bloomer to Game of Thrones, but this episode was trash. Absolute trash. The most exciting part of this episode was when Arya had her badass moment. That was cool because Arya's awesome. That was really cool. I enjoyed the hell out of that. But outside of that, nothing else. This was trash. Because at least I could see what was going on with Arya. At least I could watch her be a badass. Everything else, it was this terrible lighting. It was this shaky cam BS. This was trash. This episode was trash. So I'll be interested to know what everybody else thinks about this. I did not like it at all. And it's amazing you're sitting there watching so many things going on, but in reality, nothing is really happening. This was a bad episode, a really, really bad episode. And the whole thing with the Night King had his Snoke moment because he really is meaningless. And that is incredibly disappointing. I figured Game of Thrones would have learned from The Last Jedi, but clearly not. So that's where we're at with it. I'll be interested to know what everybody else thinks about this. I was sitting there. I was excited for tonight. I'm sitting there. I got the surround sound turned up. I've got it on my 4K TV. I'm hyped. And at no point during any of this am I going like, I was never invested in anything other than Arya being awesome. Everything else, I didn't care about it. Because I'm like, I can't see. The shaky cam's driving me crazy. And at some point, you just realize that it's all just going to be a bunch of convenient stupidity. And a lot of things I'm sitting there going, okay, well, if they were going to do this, why didn't they just do that? Well, if they did this one, like, you shouldn't be asking yourself. Like, I've been watching Lord of the Rings lately, the rewatch of the extended trilogy. Amazing. Everything about it is amazing. And I'm not sitting there questioning things in battles. I'm sitting there emotionally invested in these battles, as I've been emotionally invested in Hardhome and the Battle of the Bastards and every other great moment within Game of Thrones. But this episode was trash. Complete garbage. Really underwhelming. Really disappointed. I guess Game of Thrones pulled Rian Johnson in. They're like, hey, he did a good job on Breaking Bad. Let's let him write and direct an episode of Game of Thrones. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Wow. Just really disappointed. Anyway, have a great night. Talk to you later.